This is too.
All right.
Good afternoon, Facebook friends and fam. Today we have two lovely guests, VL and also Candace.
Yes, and what's really interesting is that they both live in separate states, and we want to kind of highlight their story. So I'll let you guys kind of introduce yourself a little bit. So Candace, tell us a little bit more about yourself. I know we've done one testimonial before.
Yes, I think that I'm one of your elderly clients. and I like to be active. I like to, I actually enjoy exercise classes most of the time. And, and I enjoy sharing it with other people. And so that's one of the reasons I shared it with my sister.
Yeah, and I just want to highlight a little bit more. I know you've done several things like, kickboxing stuff. I know recently you did some 5Ks for everybody for their birthday this past year. I don't know how many 5Ks that was, like 20 something. Yeah.
Yeah.
And you've always done well, for the past couple of years, like your age in burpees on your birthday.
Yes. Yes.
So I won't share your age, but you can feel free to tell people more about that. So just kind of, sharing a little bit more about, how you enjoy fitness. I know Steve, he's a triathlete. You guys have done many things together like that. So this is a big love language for you. And VL, what has been your experience with fitness, well, prior to Iron Sharpens Iron?
Well, prior to that, I was pretty much sitting around. I was taking care of my sick husband. And after he passed away, then Candy got me, or Candace,
Candy. She's my baby sister, Candy.
She got me started in this. And it has really helped me. I'm glad I wanted to get involved because I'll tell my age, I'm 64 and I want to keep moving. And I sat around for several years with my husband, and I want to be active. I don't want to be one of the people that, aren't moving at the, as they age. So this has really helped a lot. I think it's been almost a year, or maybe a little over a year. And I think I've come a long way from day one.
Yes. Yes. You want to speak a little bit more about this? Go ahead.
So let's start off a little bit in the beginning of the journey. Candace, you live in Fort Myers.
No,
VL.
You're mixing.
Sorry, VL lives in Fort Myers. And Candace is in, well, at the time, South Carolina.
Now North Carolina.
And now she's in North Carolina. VL right now is visiting Candace and Steve. And so that's why they're together. I just want to let people know that that's why they're together right now in one place. But in the beginning, VL, you were in Fort Myers and Candace was in South Carolina, and they started this journey working out. VL, what was the experience in the beginning when you started working out online through Zoom with Chris?
You really want to know?
Yes. Be open and honest.
It's okay.
This is the time.
It was very hard, and I didn't want to do it, but I knew I had to do it. And there were several times I started over because I didn't want to do it. But every time you miss one, then it's harder. You have to almost start over again. And yeah, that's how it was at the beginning. And yeah, I was very much out of shape.
Yeah. I mean, so comparatively from, then to now, how has your fitness improved?
Oh, I just walking, and I don't get out of breath as easy. I have more strength. I think I always had strength like in my arms and stuff because I was carrying things and yard work and things like that, but I just have stamina, I guess. It's just helped me overall everywhere.
I remember a time that we took a walk when I was visiting you before, long before you started Icy Fit, and we went for a walk and we're just strolling around it was like a little lake, yeah, and and then finally you said, because you were out of breath, and you said you're walking so fast, and she's out of breath, and I thought we were just strolling, remember? And you said, how is it that you can talk while you're doing this? And now she's even walking on the hills up here. So.
Yeah, and I know you were doing a lot of yard work recently, pulling out trees, cutting down trees, basically like, lumberjacking, half of I don't know, like a 3-acre lot. But you actually had your kids helping you, and they were surprised at your stamina.
Yes.
Speak a little bit more to that story.
We had a big work day one Saturday, and all the kids were there, and my neighbor, and we were all moving trees, and because we have a bunch of unwanted trees on our yard, and carrying logs and branches and everything. And the next day, two of my kids called to ask me how I was feeling, because they could hardly move. I was fine. I'm like, why are you asking?
Oh man, that's great. Oh,
and they're in their late 20s.
I think that's my favorite story. Okay, so aside from the fitness part, we do have you guys kind of communicate through a messenger and through check-ins and stuff. How is that, having that available to you guys to be able to see each other sometimes on a Saturday, stuff like that? How's that, impacted your relationship?
Well, we usually aren't on check-in together.
Right.
And so I'm not sure that I find check-in to be very helpful. And I think you find it.
I haven't been for a while.
Yeah. So different people. I think that check-in is really helpful to certain people and not really helpful to certain people. And so I'm not sure that check-in has helped. I think that we do our Friday workout together. That's really helped. It's not on Zoom, but neither of us, well, we were both having lots of trouble getting our Friday workouts in because it's so hard to do it by yourself. When you've got to show up for you guys, then it's different. But I can do it later today, or I'll do it tomorrow. Yeah. And then later never happens. And so we just decided that we would do it on Saturday, and we don't Zoom, or Friday, I mean, but we don't Zoom, but we put our phones are on speaker, and we each run our own workout, with our timer. And sometimes we can talk while we're doing it, which is really awesome. But it's like sometimes he's got us both, you, Chris, have us both in some horrible thing. It's like, I'll talk to you later. But
it's always a good time.
Yes. And we're always glad we did it.
Yes.
And almost always say, if you weren't doing it, I wouldn't have done it. I already looked at it and I wouldn't have done it.
All right.
So it's that part is really good.
Yeah. No, that's great. I know for check-ins, like you said, some people find more value in it. That wasn't something that kind of helped you guys connect more, but outside of that, you guys have been able to connect more with the actual working out portion. So that is something that's been, a great highlight, is seeing that you guys work out together on Fridays. So that was on your own initiative there. So that's kudos to you guys. I love that part.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
How do you think this has strengthened your relationship with the Lord, VL?
Mm.
That question.
I have always loved the Lord, but just making me realize that, and I've always known this, that my body is a temple of the Lord, but just to realize and that I really need to take care of it and to do all I can to please him and that will make me healthy in the long run. And yeah. I think that's
And for you, Candace, being able to do this with your sister and Steve and enjoy these moments together, how's that giving you those kind of God moments? I remember you've sent me pictures of you kayaking and you're like, or in your canoe, canoeing away from a storm, and you were still admiring the God moment. So talk about those.
Yeah. God is just so, and I say it all the time, he's so incredibly good. We all know that, and he knows it, but I still say it all the time, don't I? Probably the moments that, especially since VL started exercising with me, is, and I don't want to start getting weepy about it, but after Bob died, we had told him that we would be there for VL. And this just seemed like a way to be there for you in a way that honored our bodies, because he was so sick. And when I'm doing exercise now, I mean, truly this whole thing of taking care of the body, being good stewards of the body, but also I've just recently been so in touch with the intricacy of God's work. And I'm so grateful when I can move. I do birthday burpees only because I'm grateful that I can. You know, I did a half marathon in January when I was in Florida with you, because I'm so grateful that I can. And that's only because God has created our bodies to move. He didn't create us to sit around. And sometimes we're ill and we have to take care of ourselves in different ways, but we're still moving something. Our heart's beating, our lungs are working, there's that intricacy. And that's what I see when I go out in the kayak is, goodness, every single leaf. We talked about it this morning. Every single leaf on the tree, every little tiny frog that jumps, everything is just there's such an awareness. And I think that part of the way that ICFit has helped is the focus on wins, because that's looking for the positive, always looking for the positive. Yeah, I could sit around and be really sad because I don't feel like it today, but I can also get up and say, oh, but I could go out and sit and watch the sunrise. And so it's a win. God created us to win. And I've never thought of it that way until y'all.
Wow. I don't even know where to ask her. That was awesome.
God did create us
Yes.
to move. So I love that point.
Yes.
But I do have a question. In that aspect where God created us to move, to work out, and be in fellowship with each other. This has occurred through working out, of course, together, not through Zoom, but it has been in separate locations.
At times through Zoom.
At times through Zoom. However, how do you think this has also brought you guys closer in terms of your emotion, in terms of your relationship together as sisters? You guys do have times where you need to encourage each other. Talk about a moment where you may have had to encourage each other through, like what you said, Candace, like, I don't want to do this. Was there a moment before where someone, either one of you guys, said, I don't want to work out on a Friday, but someone had to encourage together?
Like, do we have to do this?
yeah. There's been many Fridays or Thursday nights. Like, oh, is it Friday already? And but we do encourage each other. Usually she's more of the encourager, but Yeah, we do. And that's what gets us to do that together.
What was a time where maybe you had to pick up Candace?
Hmm. Gosh, I don't know. I think you're always ready, other than,
Seriously.
do you really want to? Well, yeah, you know.
Mhm. And what about when, when on Fridays, if it's like we're chatting because we're catching up, that's the only day that we actually
Yeah.
talk. We text a lot during the week, but to chat, and then you'll say, do you think maybe we should
Start.
press start and get going? I'm like, oh, I guess we better.
Yeah.
So you're stopping Candace from procrastinating there.
Because
Well,
by
there
the
you
time we
go.
work, yeah, when we work out on Fridays, we do it at 8 a.m. And for me, that's late. And so I'm often in procrastinating mode by then. I've already not done anything for that. You know, I've done other stuff, but I've not.
Yeah, like you come in from working in the yard or
Yes.
something to work out.
Yeah.
But then
Yeah.
I'm like ready to have a cup of coffee and just chat and catch up. And she
Yeah.
says, I think maybe we better press start.
Oh, I love it. You're keeping her accountable.
Right. See,
Awesome.
there you go, VL.
Yeah. Go ahead and jump in.
Yeah. So I'm going to switch gears a little bit here. If there was another Candace and VL out there, maybe there's two sisters and one is in, I don't know, Hawaii and the other one is in New York.
Or my siblings.
Or,
Like,
yeah.
I mean, my siblings are all in Connecticut and I'm in Florida, so I know what that feels like. So
So you're
speak to that.
separated in,
Right.
in distance. But how would you speak to those two sisters, you know, that maybe need to get in shape, but also just to have that bonding time like you guys? What would you guys say to them regarding your experience?
Oh, I think that with today's technology, there's, and you want to be together, you want to have that relationship with your siblings. I think that there's no reason why you can't. And it, because, you know, it's available and it's possible. And it's just, it's been wonderful. It really has. We've always been close, but it's, I feel like we've really grown a lot, and because we talk about other things besides
Right.
fitness, and and talking during the workouts when we can, and it's different than just texting during the week. So I think that's helped a lot.
Mhm.
Well, I have one follow-up real quick. And then I can also ask you, Candace, how you feel if there's two other sisters, you know, watching this as well. But before, were you guys, of course, you guys weren't working out together on Fridays, but was a Friday a consistent thing for you guys before?
No,
Ah, okay. So there's something that I think we should highlight
Yeah.
is that the workouts brought you guys together and
yeah.
that
Yeah.
became a sister
It could be,
time.
it could be months before we'd be
We
on the
would
phone
talk,
together.
yeah.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We would
So that's a
text.
big white rhino there. Oh, so you guys would have a long time between talking and now you guys are
Yeah.
together weekly.
Yeah.
We would text.
Yeah, we would text.
Stay in
It's-
touch,
Yeah,
but that's different than every day. I mean, because we talk about just everyday things
Mhm.
on Friday now.
mhm.
Yeah. That's awesome. That's a big one.
That's huge.
Thank you for
I'm really
pointing
glad.
that out too, because you know I know you guys also have another sister that you guys would love to spend more time with.
Yes.
So you know, so how do you feel you can encourage her, maybe even to join with us?
Well, I've invited. Have you invited her?
No, I haven't.
Okay.
Ooh,
But
We're going there tomorrow.
yes.
We're gonna all three be together. Yeah.
Oh,
And
Bring that
And
up.
so yes, because I've invited her, and she would benefit greatly from being involved. Her response to me immediately was, no, I'm not interested in that
Or,
accountability,
yeah,
in the accountability.
oh wow.
but she's also caring for her husband
Yeah,
a lot. I mean, he's not as sick as mine was, but she might be in the same boat I was.
yeah.
Right.
So yeah, we will talk to him.
Well, I mean, so how will this help her mindset as she's going through that struggle? Via, I think you can speak to that, being as you've, been in the same boat.
Mhm. Oh, it would definitely help her. If I would have gotten involved before,
Mhm.
or while he was sick, I think it would have helped. It would have helped me, and just my mind and my body, everything. It would have helped a lot.
Mhm. Yeah.
So Candace, again, we have two sisters and they're in separate locations. What would you say to encourage those two sisters?
Well, I would echo what VL said, but I also would say that there's no good excuse. There are many reasons that we put up, or excuses that we put up for not doing things that we know God has laid on our heart. And but there really is no good excuse for it. There's another way he calls us to move, right? He calls us to move by sharing with each other. Not that we have any control over the outcome, but we can certainly share. And I think that your VL's testimony is to our other sister, her name's Sandy, will be more meaningful, more powerful than mine, because they always see me as this person who's always loved to be fit and always loved exercise, and oh, you do that, and they're always on me for it. And Sandy always tells me I'm so skinny, and just all these things that it's like it's not hard for me. It is hard for me, but she will not see that. But to hear VL's story, and I think she's going to see a difference when she sees you. Just the way you get up and down off of chairs and things like that. And I think that's, God calls us to witness in all kinds of ways. And it's not just proclaiming the gospel. Our other sister is saved. She's a Christian. So but we still can witness to each other. And so I think that your testimony is going to be very powerful. Yeah.
I'll close out.
Yeah, I just have one last question for VL. VL, the word transformation, what comes to mind when you hear that word now, whereas before you started working out with Chris? But now the VL that we're talking to, what does transformation say to you?
That I can just move so much easier. Like she said, getting out of a chair, that my body has transformed to being able to do things comfortably that I wasn't able to before. It was, sometimes a struggle or just uncomfortable. Yeah, just the way my body moves now. And I still have aches and pains a lot, but nothing like I was. And part of my aches and pains was I was in a car accident since I started. So I'm recovering from that too still. And yes, it's just, and if I hadn't been involved in the fitness program when I was in the accident, I'm sure I would be way far worse than what I am now. There's no doubt there.
That's another big story that we just didn't even breach the surface on. Well, I don't want to hold you guys up too long, but VL, what would be your biggest encouragement to the other VL out there that this isn't new, or this is brand new to, like, they don't work out and it's not as easy or perceived as easy as maybe, the other sibling does it. I know my siblings look at me and think, I do it and it's very easy, just like you, Candace. So what would you say to them, VL?
I would say give it a chance, a real good chance. Don't just do one and then say, no, it's not for me. Yeah. My daughter tried working out with me. But yes, to just really give it a good chance. And the camaraderie between all of your clients and all, it's just amazing to work out with other people that some of them are enjoying it as much as I am, or aren't enjoying it. It's a struggle for a lot of people. Yeah, I just think that they should give it a chance, and if nothing else, the bonding with your sibling is worth it. Yeah.
That's awesome.
I love it.
Well, thank you, ladies. Well, let's close it out.
Yeah.
Well, this has been just an amazing time with you guys, and I'm grateful that you were able to share your story, maybe to another pair of siblings who could benefit. So we want to definitely encourage any siblings out there, if this is something that you would like to try, so that you can work together, maybe build on a relationship, or maybe you're finding it more difficult to move, as we're getting older. It's about being functional, like VL was talking about, and we would love to help you. So please reach out. We have a direct messenger. You can reach out to us, or our email, info@isifit2717.com is our email address, and we are on all the social medias.
And at Iron Sharpens Iron, we always like to say, make
Make moves,
moves, not